Yo, hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 8 p.m. May 22nd, 2021. A hellish day, very hot. No relief really anywhere, and just unbelievable how hot it is out there. And we're still in the 80s out there. We'll go ahead and look at some of the current temperatures. We'll start with this site here. So we still got 83 in Carl Place right now. So still in the mid 80s here in Nassau County. After reaching 90, we're going to look at the highs in a minute. Surprisingly, outside my alley, it's only reading 80 degrees. So it's actually a little cooler in there. It's just kind of surprising. But this morning, it was quite warm, actually. It was 68. It never really got much below 68 last night. But we'll go ahead and look at the temperature chart right now for Carl Place while we're here. Oh, right. I got to look at the other site, not this one. All right. I guess that one doesn't. That one actually gives a temperature chart, doesn't it? Whoops. Heat's messing with me. All right. Hang on. Let's see. I think if this gives a This does give a temperature chart. Yeah, it does. It's not as good as the other site, though. So we'll go back to the underground. We'll look at our highs in a moment, but I'm just curious as to what it got down to this morning. Because I think the temperatures really started rising in the morning. I can almost swear that they did. So let's see. Because that's what it was this morning, like before the sun rose. It was like 68 out in my alleys. So let's see what it was. Yeah, see, it was 59. So that's a lot warmer. It's a lot warmer. But no wind. And you can see the wind was just calm. But you look at Carl Place, you can see highs. It looks like it did hit 90, and we stayed up there all day long, pretty much. No sea breeze at all whatsoever. So I'm going to go, and we also broke some records today, too. So let's go to that. Let's see if the weather service actually had something on here. Okay, here's their tweet for the record heat. So let's go ahead and look at that. So here's the tweet of the record highs. So here you go, record highs in the tri-state. Central Park hit 89, JFK at 94. That's a record. LaGuardia hit 88. Newark hit 96. Not surprisingly, it's the hottest in New Jersey. Islip hit 90, and Bridgeport was 87. And JFK actually tied the record, while Bridgeport broke the record. So, man, look at how hot it was in Jersey. 96 degrees. You got to be kidding me. We're going to go look at the high temperatures on this map now and see. We're also going to look and see if there's any sea breeze. You'll see no sea breeze whatsoever. On the South Shore, you see an 83. So hot pretty much all over. 81 still at Islip as well. You got to go way out east, like to the Hamptons, where it's 72 at West Hampton. That's where they've been in the 70s. The sea breeze is literally limited to like the South Fork, and that's it today. No sea breeze at all. So let's go take a look at what the high temperatures were across the area today. And you can see 90 in Carl Place, so got to around 90 in the middle of the island. Oddly enough, a little cooler on the North Shore. Again, with the northwest wind, it actually is a little cooler on the North Shore, upper 80s. That's still brutal. South Shore, 92 in Wantor, 92 in, looks like Lynbrook. So the South Shore is hot, and the beach also, Tobay got up to 87. For a very weak sea breeze when it got into the beaches. Let's go look out east. You can see here, pull this out a little bit. You can see Islip hit 90. Brookhaven hit 84. Brookhaven, see it even better out there. 79 at West Hampton. So, wow, they were much cooler out on the Forks. It's amazing. LaGuardia hit 88, and JFK hit 94, as we know. Even though it's not showing up on here. And still managed to get up close to 80 on the South Fork. Montauk was only 77. And only 70 at Block Island. That's the place to be. And Central Park hit 88. Now, we're going to New Jersey. It's going to be much worse than that. No, I'm not buying that 91 at Tom's River. I think this thing is not working properly. I think it was a little hotter than that there. Yeah, very hot. We'll go ahead and look at the Miller Air Park, because I think that reading is wrong. I think it's hotter than that. I'm gonna have to actually look at the other. We're gonna have to go back to this and go to the observations and see, because I think that's wrong. I think it was hot. I could swear it was hotter in Tom's River than that. Oddly enough, it's cooler in Tom's River than it is here. 79. Let's see what the historical has for them. Well, maybe they only got up to 91 over. They had a strong west-northwest wind, oddly enough, and a little less humid there, oddly enough. It says 92 is the high, so 92. It's still a little worse than here. So, yeah. It was worse in North Jersey, oddly enough. But, yeah, very hot day today. No sea breeze. See, no sea breeze on the Jersey Shore either. No sea breeze anywhere. We could look at Long Beach, for instance. Even if you were right on the beach, let's look at some of these. And see, I'll look at some other charts too. But yeah, let me actually. I shouldn't be using this site. Let's go back to this. So let's go look at. Now you saw what it was like in Coral Place. Let's go look at the South Shore first. You can see it was brutal. Let's take a look at Merrick. And it was probably brutal there all day long. Like I said, there was no relief on the South Shore at all whatsoever. It's still 83. No sea breeze. And they were up into the 90s. Look at that. It was actually hotter on the South Shore than in the middle of the island, believe it or not, at least in Nassau County. You have to go. You have to be right on the beach to get some relief. So let's look at Jones Beach. It's 80 at Jones Beach, which is warm for Jones Beach. So even right on the beach, man, still warm. Look at this. Like you can see, it was actually kind of cool. But then look at what happened. There was a sea breeze. So you can see what happened here at Jones Beach. You could see we had, I don't know if that, you can see the wind actually shot up. The temperature actually shot up in the afternoon. There probably was a weak sea breeze, and then for whatever reason, boom, the sea breeze completely went away after 3 o'clock, and it just blazed into the mid-80s, which is hot for the beach. And I don't want to think of how bad when you get that wind off the land, you get a lot of flies, a lot of those greenhead flies, and let me tell you, they hurt. Let's go look at Let's look at Long Beach. 82 at East End Long Beach. Let's see what Long Beach has. Probably a similar thing. So very unusual to see no sea breeze at all. That's really unusual. Same kind of deal. You can see what happened. Shot up, then it went down. Sea breeze, northwest, went to the southwest, then west, and then back to northwest, and the temperature shot back up again into the upper 80s. So again, there was a sea breeze trying to get in, but they had trouble even at the beach. I mean, just absolutely brutal day. So you have to go out east to get any kind of relief. Even Blue Point, 82. You have to go further out east than that. All right, we're going to look at our friend in Canaan Lake again. He's 80 degrees, so I bet you he had a similar thing where a sea breeze tried to come in, and then it got pushed back, probably. Same kind of deal. Let's see what happens. So he got up to 85. Sea breeze came in. It looks like there was a sea breeze in the afternoon. But then then right around 4 o'clock, it was southeast, and then it went to north winds. Temperature shot up to 86. And so, yeah, you see there was a sea breeze, and this sea breeze actually got weaker throughout the day. That's just brutal, man. That's just brutal. Let's go look at... let's go a little further out. You have to go further out east. You have to go out east to get any kind of relief. Let's go to Northampton. It's 75 right now. So if you go to Northampton, there they had the sea breeze far enough out east, far enough away from the armpit of Jersey. But even there, they still got some of the heat. But not quite. They dipped there in the afternoon, and then they also experienced that temperature shooting back up and then going back down again. So there you go. So it's very, very interesting to see that there was a sea breeze trying to get going. But if you really wanted relief, you have to be in like an East Hampton or a Napiog, all right? Napiog, all right? So if you look at Napiog, you will see here that... Actually, no, they managed to get to 82 as well, but then it dropped. There was a drop with the sea breeze, and then again, there was that suppression in the afternoon of the sea breeze, but then it came back again in the evening and dropped things down. So you could see there was a sea breeze front kind of waffling back and forth across the island. But in the end, the heat from the armpit that is New Jersey won for most of Long Island, except for, sorry, folks in New Jersey. You just have a very hot state, all right? And I don't appreciate you sharing your heat with us today, all right? It was really miserable, all right? But when you go look at New Jersey, let's take a look at some really brutal areas in Toms River. 82, Holiday City West. Let's see how they did, because I have a feeling it's still hot in there. Let's see what it was like. Oh, man. Yeah, they were above. Oh, okay. Oh, man, 97. Oh, brutal. Just brutal. You can see how hot it was there. So just, all I could say is, yeah! That is hot. But, yeah, pretty hot. Pretty miserable day. And we're going to do it all again tomorrow, unfortunately. And this was with a decent amount of clouds. I mean, we had clouds in the afternoon, so the temperatures went in the mid-80s. It was still, I mean, I couldn't walk for more than 5 or 10 minutes without feeling like I was going to drop, despite the sky looking like this at times, with the dark clouds and stuff. It just, I can't take this, man. It's horrible. At least normally here we have some kind of breeze, but today it really did feel like I was in New Jersey. And it was horrible. It was just horrible. Nothing on the radar. There's some showers and thunderstorms over Boston, but that's it. Nothing on the radar to see. Satellite, you can see this is with a lot of clouds around. We're going to have less clouds tomorrow, so that's what really worries me here. So let's go take a look and see what's at the models, and we're just going to review the next couple of days here. Oh, that's the other thing we've got to talk about. We have a tropical system. Say hello to Anna. That's right, subtropical storm Anna. Maximum sustained wind 40 miles an hour, moving northeast at 6. It's a subtropical storm. Yeah, so this is your subtropical storm Anna here. And Anna is now starting to move northeast. Not going to be an issue for anyone. As of 5 p.m., 34.5 north, 62.4 west, about 205 miles northeast of Bermuda. Max sustained winds 40 miles an hour, moving northeast at 5 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 29.74. So it's just a weak system. It's not that strong, but still, to have a system this early is going to point to an active type of season for us. So let's take a look at what Anna. I think this is Anna right here. So that's what Anna looks like on the high-resolution satellite. You can definitely see some kind of tropical structure there, and that's why it's got a name. And but it is moving away, and it is not going to be an issue for anyone, fortunately. So let's get back to the models here and look at what is going to be happening here. So you got this high, this ridge from hell over us right now, and as we move into the week, you'll see the ridge from hell still over us tomorrow. But you can see here comes a backdoor cold front from eastern Canada, comes through tomorrow night. Get some cool air. The front stalls to the south and the west of New Jersey. So I don't think it'll be that sunny, but at least it'll be cooler. But then we get back into the ridge pattern again for Tuesday. At least this time, it looks like there'll be more of a southerly component. And then a much stronger cold front tries to make it through, maybe for Friday. But we'll still have to watch. This ridge is not going to give up without a fight, so we may have a chance for rain with that if we get a front that stalls out and some rain. Now, this is an issue. We haven't had much rain at all, and this is going to continue now. So not only is it very hot, but it's also very dry. Which actually, when the ground is dry, it makes it even hotter because it can absorb heat faster. When we go into we'll look at the HRRR. You'll see a couple of scattered showers. Nothing really forming in our area. Tomorrow would be our next chance. We have this broken line, but look at what happens. It just fizzles out. We barely get anything out of it, which is really a big problem. No rain at all again. If we go to the NAM 12, once we go past that, you'll see, look at this. No rain. GFS, same deal. No rain. Maybe as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday with that cold front, maybe then we could get some rain. And if the front stalls out with a low pressure riding along it, maybe we'd see some rain for Friday. But then it would kind of, if this kind of setup happens, it might ruin the weekend, Memorial Day weekend. But still, even if I go all the way till June 1st, how much precipitation is that? Total accumulated precip. Look at that. All right, it gives Jersey something, maybe like a half an inch, but nothing for Long Island. And we've seen these things trend drier and drier through time. This is a constant issue where it looks like, oh, we'll get some rain a week from now, and then you see that it doesn't happen. So we'll have to see what happens with that. The other story, of course, is the temperatures. So let me go back to the temperatures. Let me go back to the HRRR, and we'll go ahead and look at the 18Z model for temperatures. All right. Rain, we're not going to see any of that. And with a muggy night tonight, temperatures, we'll be lucky if we get below 70 tonight. It's just going to give me, we do it all again tomorrow, and just as hot, or maybe even hotter, with more sunshine perhaps. I think all of us see 90s, no sea breeze again. The hottest temperatures, of course, will probably still be in New Jersey. You can see here comes the cool front, the backdoor cold front. Here it comes tomorrow night around midnight, and then the cooler air builds in, and much better for Monday with highs only around 70 degrees. So much better weather, but we're going to have to still get through another brutal day. Let's look at the dew points. And the dew points are also going to come up too. You can see dew points in the 60s. It's going to be more humid tomorrow, which is actually going to make me feel more uncomfortable. Maybe there'll be a sea breeze on the South Shore. There's more of a westerly component, which actually is a little easier to get a sea breeze with the west wind than it is to get a sea breeze with a northwest wind, which is what we had today. So maybe there'll be a sea breeze tomorrow, but don't count on it. And you can see here comes the front right around 0Z. Actually, it starts coming through. The dew point starts. So right after maybe 10 o'clock, you'll start noticing the dew points drop and the wind shift to the east for Monday, which will bring much more comfortable conditions into the area. And we'll go to the GFS now. You see this shows up nicely as well on the GFS as well with the dew points dropping. However, and I'm going to keep this in the dew point mode so you see what winds up happening. You see the winds go back to southwest on Tuesday. And here comes the humidity off to the west, coming back in with the heat on Wednesday. And we're going to deal with it on Thursday as well, Thursday morning. But then this front comes through Thursday morning, and we drop those dew points again. You can see the front kind of gets stuck off to the south. And there could be a wave or two of low pressure along it. We'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe dealing with a little stall front syndrome, but it still may not bring us that much rain. We're really hurting for rain right now. Let's go ahead and look at the temperatures. So as we head into Tuesday on the GFS, you see still fairly comfortable. But it is Wednesday that we start heating things up again. Fortunately, this time it favors more the heat over New Jersey. So the heat will stay where it belongs in Jersey. They'll be dealing with the 90s. We'll probably just be dealing with some 80s and a sea breeze. Hopefully, it'll keep things cool around the South Shore. Comes the front for Thursday, and we're dealing with temperatures in the mid-70s. And Friday, much cooler. Could be a lot of clouds around that. I think we're going to be dealing with a lot. I don't know when we're going to have a next sunny day. And you can see kind of stuck in clouds and maybe some showers for Saturday. Would kind of suck if the Memorial Day weekend gets ruined by bad weather. But stall front syndrome may ruin Memorial Day weekend with rain, but might not be heavy rain. It might just be scattered light rain, not the kind of rain we really need to get out of this drought. So let's go look at the clouds now on the GFS. And this is a kind of general look here of the clouds here at GFS. You see, let's go to tomorrow actually. So you can see, let me not even look at the GFS because this is so misleading. Let's go to the NAM3. So you see here, there's going to be sunshine, but clouds. Probably not a blue sky, obviously. I don't think so with this kind of air mass, but more sun tomorrow than there was today, which means that's more radiation to the ground, a very dry ground that's going to heat up. So I think a lot of us are going to be quite hot tomorrow, maybe even hotter tomorrow than today. And then we have this backdoor front come through. But you can see it kind of gets hung up, so expect plenty of clouds for your Monday. Not a clear day, but a much cooler and much more comfortable day. We'll look at the RGM as well with this. So this is the RGM. You can see RGM, not a whole lot of clouds, just some hazy skies, cirrus, contrails, but more sun, so that can make it hotter. Here comes your backdoor front. You can see it kind of just gets stuck to the southwest, unfortunately. And if you're in New England, maybe you'd have more of a shot at clearer skies. But again, the front doesn't make it all the way through. It gets hung up because you still got the ridge here that's kind of blocking it. And then that eventually winds up moving back at us on Tuesday as a warm front. And, of course, plenty of clouds with that, plenty of high clouds. So let's go look at the GFS, and you'll see. You can see the kind of pattern we're in here. Can't really get a clear day at all. Yeah, it's going to be kind of junky for a while. Even though we're not seeing a lot of rain, we're going to have a lot of clouds and junky skies. So it's a really crappy pattern. If you go and you look at will make you jealous. Look at the Southwest here, because they're having, let me tell you, they're having great weather this weekend in Flagstaff. So looks like Sunday, mostly sunny in Flagstaff. Monday, mostly sunny. This is Arizona right here. Tuesday, and then some more clear skies on Friday again. And it's also much cooler there. I mean, if we go and we look at the temperatures in Flagstaff, you're going to just be amazed at how nice it is there right now. Because, again, they just don't seem to get this kind of heat over there. 52 degrees, dew point 7. It's very dry, though, and breezy. So they do have to worry about a forest fire risk. But, I mean, it only hit... today it only got up to what? It only got into the 50s today? Oh, man. They did have some clouds, but, man, 50s. Oh, man. It's the place to be. Anyway, this heat, I'm telling you. It sucks because it's hot, and, you can't walk around outside. And I love to walk around outside, and then you can't go to the Pine Barrens because it's so hot. And the sky's junky anyway. So let's look at Sunday. So here's 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're ready in near 80. Moves us off to 1 o'clock here on the Ventus sky. Ready in the mid and upper 80. For whatever reason, Ventus sky does not want to keep us is hot. I think it's underdoing it. I think we'll get to the 90s. Northwest wind. I'm using this just to show you. No sea breeze at all. 3 o'clock. 5 o'clock. No sea breeze. 7 o'clock. There will not be a sea breeze tomorrow, all right? I seriously doubt it. And for the east end, you're probably going to be hotter because there will be no sea breeze at all. So no relief for you either. So that's why it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. We'll lastly talk about this one here. This article here. More signs of climate change. A vast Antarctic iceberg could drift through ocean for years. A vast iceberg that broke off Antarctica earlier this month could drift through the ocean for several years before it breaks up and melts away, said the scientists from the European Space Agency. The iceberg, dubbed A-76, is more than 40 times the size of Paris, or about 73 times as big as Manhattan, making it the largest currently afloat. That is insane. It's almost as big as a state, basically. It was first spotted by scientists at the British Antarctic Survey and confirmed by the U.S. National Ice Center using images taken by the European Space Agency Sentinel-1A satellite. Mark Drinkwater, a senior scientist at the Space Agency, said that while icebergs regularly calve from Atlantic ice shelves, the region where 876 broke off had seen relatively little change in recent decades. It's become a poster child, obviously, and there'll be a lot of attention to it. So it's a 4,320 square kilometer or 1,668 square mile floating island of ice. A-76 will eventually escape from the Weddell Sea and around the Antarctica and drift into the South Atlantic, but that journey could take years. So this iceberg could last many, many, many years, it's climate change, and this is what's going on. Here's a kind of picture of this iceberg here. So that's huge, very disturbing. And as we see more of this ice melt, sea levels will rise. That's just going to be more of a problem again for everybody. So what can I say? The climate here is just continuing to get unbearable. And like I said, the heat is miserable, man. I wish I was in Flagstaff. I really do. Wish I was there. I don't want to live there, but it would be nice just to get away and go there and get away from this crap. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's still, it's just, and you have to wonder as things get too hot, it gets to the point where how am I going to survive here? If it's starting to become like the Mid-Atlantic, that's too hot. I mean, I just could not survive very well today. It was really, really hot today, and it's just, as I get older, I tolerate it less. At the same time, our climate is continuing to warm, and like I said, New Jersey is the fastest warming state, but I guarantee New York ain't that far behind. All right. The reason why the Southwest doesn't get it as bad is because they don't have that ocean ridge that develops. They're not affected by the Atlantic ridge. They don't get that. They have the elevation in places like Flagstaff, which will keep them cool as well. So a while ago, I showed you how climate would change. A long time ago, I took a video. I'm going to see if I can find it, and I'll car it in this video. And it shows that the East Coast is actually warming much faster than the areas like the interior elevations, like in the mountains out west. This is all part of it. It's also becoming much more humid, too. So you have to wonder how long can people who cannot take this kind of weather survive here. And that is, again, something to think about as we deal with the consequences of climate change. But as far as us goes, the weather's going to suck, plain and simple. No really good weather to go to the Pines for at least the next 7 to 10 days. Monday will be cool, but you're not going to have a nice sky. So if you want to have that nice blue sky and low humidity and sunshine and pine trees, well, I suggest you better head to Flagstaff. That's going to be it for this video. Take care, and thanks for watching.